morning, family. It's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. So by the time you see this, we're going to be on the road for my baby's surgery. So we're traveling today, and then tomorrow we will be, it will be surgery day. So thank you for all the prayers for him. Thank you so much. I would appreciate continued prayers for him. And we appreciate that. So thank you very, very much. So today I want to talk about something that is really weighing on me as a person who prepares, as a person that prepares for things for my family. And I basically want to discuss the shortages that I think are headed our way. And I want to connect the dots for you of why I think they, in my opinion, are going to happen, okay? And some of them are very, very obvious, okay? And then some of them maybe you didn't think, but then you'll kind of know my thought process of why I prep the things that I prep, okay? So I'm going to go over 5 shortages that I think we're going to see this winter, okay? And some maybe way sooner than later, okay? But I think that these are all things that are safe to say we may see shortages in before the end of the year. Okay. For some of them for sure. Okay. Let's go into the first one, which is food. So food is a no-brainer. There's all types of problems with our supply chain right now, whether that's the containers, whether that's the drivers, whether it just doesn't matter. You can say it's the pandemic, whatever the reasoning is. We are seeing shortages on the shelves, and we're seeing a depletion in the quality of stuff that is being put in front of us to purchase, right? We bought, for example, I bought a bag of oranges. They looked beautiful. I brought them home. Within 24 hours, half of those oranges were molded, totally done for, okay? That's not the only example I have. What I'm seeing is things that you would buy like that were fresh, like fruit and meats, you're having to bring them home and you're having to eat them right away or preserve them right away, okay? Meat, you used to be able to buy some meat and that would stay fresh in your fridge for a few days before you had to cook it. No, now it's like you better put it in your freezer or you cook it right away. Otherwise, within 24 hours, it's already starting to brown and it's going bad, right? And so I'm seeing that with fruit as well. You get it and it's not lasting as long at all. So that's a concern, okay? Low quality and running out. I think that when the majority of people start to see the shortages in food, then that is going to lead to panic buying. And then as soon as the panic starts, then the food is going to be cleared off the shelf and then you're not going to be able to get it. The next thing I have in line with that is water. So water is no different. You get water from a store. And I think when the panic buying starts again, water is just right there, the same as food, and it's going to get cleared out. And you're not going to be able to get store-bought water. Now, if it's not a grid down scenario, you're fine. You have your tap water. And you're okay that, that you can't go to the store and buy a case of water. You'll be okay. Tap water is fine. Okay. But where it gets tricky is if we're already in a situation where, now we can't get water from the store and then a natural disaster happens, electricity gets cut back, which is going to happen, you guys. Blackouts happen, and then our water is compromised and you're not able to use that water, okay? Whether the water pump stopped working, whether it's just contaminated and now you have to boil it, whatever the case may be, you need to be thinking long-term in your water situation. The third shortage that I think we're going to see is electricity. And we've talked about this in a few videos already. We've talked about electricity in general. We've talked about prices being hiked up. We've talked about shortages in general. But what's very concerning is the coal situation going on in China and India. And those countries, not being able to produce coal or as much coal. And it's where are they going to be getting that, right? So they're dealing with blackouts right now. They're dealing with rolling blackouts, trying to handle the situation. But all that does is if they come to us now for coal and they're willing to pay a higher price, guess what we're going to give them? We're going to sell them that coal and they're going to be taken care of. And then us on this end, we're not getting a cheaper deal. We're going to be paying that same price that got hiked up because another country was desperate for that, that coal. Okay. And so we need to be thinking about there's going to be shortages, okay, and or high increases, okay. And so I think that we are going to see shortages in regards to electricity, and rolling blackouts and trying to manage that. And that's not even counting all the other things that I think could happen. Our infrastructure is not good, cyber attacks. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of other scenarios that could affect our grid, okay? But I think that that's an area we should be prepping in and that we should expect shortages, rolling blackouts. Okay, next shortage I have is gas. Now you might say, well, gas, why gas? I think gas because, yes, they're in the UK right now, they're having issues. They're saying that it's the truckers, that it's a shortage in truckers, and that's what's causing that. There is gas, but there's no truckers to get the gas to the gas sources, to the pumps. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but they are dealing with some gas shortages. Where I think we play into it is the fact that, one, if it is true truckers, we could come across having the same concern, same issues. But I think that the gas shortages that are going to come from the food. Anytime something crazy happens, like let's just say there's no food, panic buying starts, the shelves get clean. The gas is right behind that. When people panic, they don't just panic about food only. The food is just the first thing that's going to get them like, oh man, what's going on? Then they're going to clean out the food, the water, the gas, all the emergency preparedness stuff, possibly food preservation stuff. They're going to clean out all of that stuff because they are going to panic on all fronts. It's not going to be just a panic of food. It just catches, okay? And so if something major happens, people panic and that gas is gone. And then it's a shortage of gas. And maybe it's a shortage because the panic buying and then they can't get it in there fast enough to replace it, right? It's not really that there's no gas. It's just that them replenishing it is not as fast as the people panicking that are buying it, okay? And so I think that if you see any major overall big country blackouts, this dark winter they're talking about, if you see blackouts or if we see mass food panic buying in general, the gas is going to go too, okay? So be thinking about that. And then the other one, you might not be tracking this or be thinking about this. So we always talk about prepping meds and prepping vitamins. And I want to share with you my concern there because, again, we already mentioned China and India and their situation with coal, and they're having blackouts and they're having panic buying and they're having where they're rationing food, and it's not a good look right now. And so things are shutting down. People are not able to work those places, right? If there's no electricity, things shut down, right? A lot of things can't run without electricity. A lot of our medicines, okay, or the components that make medicine come from China and India. So my concern is because of what's going on with them and them handling that, how does that affect us as a country in getting medication, in getting, vitamins? We already are dealing with container ship issues and that stuff getting to us. But imagine if you couple that with those countries are now shutting down a lot of different things, and now that stuff is really being scaled back on what is being sent, okay? And so I think that it's important to really go through your medicines and your vitamins, and while you can now, get those things. Yes, if those things are in the store and panic buying starts, those things are going to go as well. Everything goes in the store. Like I said, everything is going to be bought up when panic sets in. Okay, it's not just food, water, gas, emergency supplies, meds, all of that. Okay, and so I think that it's important to have this on your list as a priority, as something that you are thinking about right now and getting ahead of, in case, you know, we come across some sort of shortages because of what's happening in those countries. Okay, so these are 5 things that I am personally preparing for and that I'm expecting to happen this winter. I'm expecting these 5 things to happen. When they happen, I will not be surprised, and we will be prepared to move forward through these different crises as they happen. And if you even get on board with 1 or 2 of these things, it literally could save your life. Okay, so think about it. I would love to hear in the comments below different areas or things that you guys think might happen this winter, right? Might happen in the next few months, that you and your family are preparing for, or that you're concerned about, and that you're making a concerted effort to prepare for. Okay, and share that with us so that we can all help each other. Okay, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.